pas correct.
Who's your boyfriend, mate?
Comment osez-vous? Oh, quoi?
Sleep tight, we'll be back.
Want to walk away? What right do you have, eh?
Sarge!
Come on. We'll come in here anytime we damn well please. You got that?
Coward! You're a coward!
Table 4. I need 2 more lamb.
Can I do anything?
Yes! Let him go this time, Henry, really.
Last night, but it wasn't easy. Thank you again.
Table 4. What are you waiting for? Go!
It seems strange drinking in public after hours.
Oh, Ballarat's catching up with the rest of the world.
Maybe a little too quickly.
Oh, isn't she wonderful? I think it's good to shake things up a little sometimes.
Well, it may have a fancy name, but I know a good rabbit stew when I see one.
Yes. Oh, but it all looks perfectly delicious, doesn't it? But I can't go past the lamb. Everything all right?
Yes, it's fine.
Good evening, Jean. Doctor, my apologies for the wait.
Henry, congratulations on the restaurant. It's just lovely.
Thank you.
We were just commenting on your art.
Yes. No landscapes, Henry. Goodness, there'll be riots.
Philippe, my chef, he's French. He doesn't quite understand Ballarat.
Ah.
Now, are you ready to order? Tonight's specials include the moule marinaire. Excuse me.
I'd better see what's going on.
Just... the bloody pot handle broke.
Henry, do you have a first aid kit?
Yes.
Goodness me, that looks nasty.
No, I can't stop now. I've got meals to get out.
Really, you don't look like a Philippe to me.
I'm Barbara, the Sioux.
Philippe is, he's unwell.
Right, see if there's a gauze in there, yes?
I'll find some ice.
Very good. Now try and keep your hands steady for me, Barbara, so I can have a good look.
Oh! Lucien?
Just hold it under there for me, yes? Goodness me.
What? What is it? Oh, God. Philippe.
I'm guessing he tried to pull himself up.
Ah, he's frozen.
Yes, well, partially rigor mortis has done the rest. You can see blood from a head wound frozen on his face.
Or maybe he fell, hit his head.
No, I'd say he's been in a fight, Charlie. Quite recently by the looks. And I tell you what, they've had a real go at him.
I got here as quickly as... What happened to you?
Well, we're not sure yet.
He may have suffered some internal bleeding, judging by that bruise into his abdomen. Terrible. And... Charlie, what do you think this is?
Huh. No idea.
Do you mind if I take that for a closer look later?
Be my guest.
Curious, huh?
How are we going to get him out?
I'll take care of that.
Righto. Bill?
Sorry.
I'm terribly sorry about this, Philippe.
I can't believe he was in there all this time.
When did you last see him, Mrs.
Cornish, Barbara Cornish.
Yesterday, about 3 in the afternoon.
We were closed last night, but we had the fruit and veg delivery, and Philippe was meeting with the new butcher.
And you didn't go into the freezer earlier today?
We hardly ever use it. It's one of Henry's extravagances, really. I put the meat in the freezer. Philippe said no self-respecting chef would use anything but fresh, so that lot's all gone to waste. Sorry.
That's all right. So no one else has gone in there?
We didn't need to go in until dessert, really.
I see. Mrs. Cornish, if the restaurant was closed last night, you were where?
Oh, at the hospital. My neighbour is ill. They let me sit late with her. She doesn't have anyone else.
Well, that'll be all we need for now. Thank you. You got a theory?
Pardon?
With what happened?
Slippery floor?
No, his shoes were rubber soled.
Oh.
What happened?
I'm not sure yet, Henry. I am so sorry. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. Poor Henry. He and Philippe were very close.
Yes. No, I'm afraid I'm going to have to...
I'll take Henry home.
All right.
Life in stasis.
What's that?
Frozen. He's decomposing in slow motion.
Yes. Which will slow us down in determining the cause of death. And to prevent tissue damage, we'll need to thaw him slowly. Now, given his weight and the fact he was last seen at around 9:30 last night.
He'll have only partially frozen.
Yes. We won't be able to autopsy until late tomorrow, I'd say.
L'appel du vide. Calling to sea?
A call of the void. It's like a voice in your head calling you to do dangerous things.
My Latin's stronger than my French. I'm sure he didn't think coming to Ballarat was the dangerous thing to do.
No.
Here's another one. This one looks fresh. The ink hasn't flared under the skin yet.
He must have had that done somewhere in town.
I suspect he's done it himself. Promessa Fontaine. Promise to...
Victor Hugo, The Miserable, my mother's favourite.
Why would someone tattoo that onto their body?
Well, Fontaine sacrificed everything for her child. Perhaps this is a tribute to his mother, or, I don't know, a promise to her.
Well, I can't even take bloods until the body is thawed.
No. We could start with x-rays. Now, the neck. Something doesn't look quite right.
His hand as well, the fingers look broken.
Yes. I'm afraid that was me.
According to your statement, the last time you saw Philippe was 9:30.
The previous night, yes. That's when he left.
It didn't concern you when he didn't come home?
We'd had an argument. He's done this before, disappeared for the night.
What was the argument about?
Me?
What was the nature of your friendship with Philippe Noah?
Just that. We were friends.
But you lived together?
He lodged with me, yes. Why don't you ask the question you really want the answer to?
All right. Were you in a homosexual relationship with him?
That would be illegal.
Can you think of anyone that might want to hurt Philippe?
He could be temperamental, arrogant, mercurial.
So French, then?
If you like.
He had enemies. Anyone in particular?
He fired Wayne Robinson last week.
The butcher?
Philippe had an issue with the meat. He confronted Robinson. Robinson called him. He was very insulting and disrespectful.
Did Mr. Robinson threaten him?
I don't know.
When you say you and Philippe argued about you, what do you mean?
He called me a coward.
Why would he call you a coward?
Because that's what I am.
Does this have anything to do with the bruises on Philippe? Did you hit him when you had an argument? Did it get physical?
Why don't you ask one of yours where the bruises came from?
It was an anonymous tip-off.
And
And I came back on duty and I took Ned with me. It's logged and all above board.
Henry Dent claims that you beat Philippe Noah.
Well, he's lying. He wasn't even there.
Wasn't he?
Bill, the man's covered in bruises. His torso, his face.
Yeah, well, they're not from me. I didn't touch his face.
Bill, you know how serious this is.
Okay, he grabbed Ned as we were going out. I pulled the bloke off him and there was a bit of a scrap, but nothing serious. Right?
That's right, boss.
You're not going to take that Dent's word against mine, are you?
Get anything on the restaurant staff?
Well, they've all got alibis for the night Philippe went missing. Most of the staff were at the same house for a dinner until 12:30. One of them was home with his family, and one of the chefs was visiting a neighbour in hospital, a Mrs. Wilson. And yeah, they all check out.
You get time of death?
Well, sometime between 9 p.m. and midnight, but it's a guess. We can't perform an autopsy until the body thaws out.
When it does, let's hope it tells the same story you just told me. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, I know him. Wears a light wristwatch. Gives careful handshake. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. He died last night from injuries caused by an unknown assailant.
What? And you think it was me?
Mr. Robinson, I'd like you to come down to the station. We can talk about it there.
I got a business to run. Can't just walk out.
Well, I'm sure your daughter can look after the shop for an hour. It's not a request, Mr. Robinson.
He accused me of plumping my meat. I lost a good contract over that.
Plumping?
Filling it with water to up the weight.
And were you?
Of course not.
Must have upset you. Accused of being a crook.
Yeah. But not worth killing over.
Though, maybe a limp handshake would be. Where were you 2 nights ago between the hours of 9 and 12?
I was at the lock-in till 10:30. And then home with my daughter Tilly. She'll vouch for me.
Right. So when did you find time to make your anonymous call to the police then? That was you, wasn't it?
So what if I did? What they do is disgusting. And illegal.
What makes you think it's true?
Of course it's true. Everyone down the pub talks about it.
Well, that doesn't make it truth. Makes it drunken gossip.
People like those two, they're not right in their head.
Cervical displacement consistent with a lot of force. And the energy of the blow spread over a wide area. And Alice, look, this Y-shaped fracture to the front of the skull. The blow to the head killed him, not internal bleeding.
You sound relieved.
Well, in theory, this could be enough to clear Bill Hobart.
Of murder, maybe, but not assault. That's quite an impact.
Yes. Something heavy with a broad base. Now we just need to figure out what.
Oh my God, Doctor, you just took 10 years off me.
Barbara, forgive me. I am sorry. Should you be doing that with your hand? Where's Henry?
Oh, no, I didn't want to worry him. He's got enough to deal with at the moment.
Of course. Do you mind if I,
May I? I'm just... Tell me, Philippe, what did you make of him?
I can't say I liked him much. He was arrogant, self-righteous, not that he had cause to be.
What do you say of that?
I used to find empty bottles in the bins outside.
Really?
Stashed, like he was keeping them a secret. I know the signs. My husband, rest his soul, worked on a Snowy Hydro scheme. Drove himself to drink in the end.
Barbara, I'm so sorry.
Not your fault, Doctor.
That could be anyone's. It probably happened at the scene when we were locking it down.
You didn't go into the freezer.
Bill, if you've got something to tell us,
I
for
swear,
God's sake.
someone's planted that to make me look guilty.
You're on desk until further notice.
But, boss, I didn't...
Either that or you could be stood down until we can work this out. It's your choice, Senior Sergeant.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Best do as he says for now, Bill.
Thanks for your support, mate.
Every station needs a bulldog like Bill Hobart. Should have kept him on a shorter leash.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. There is still a lot of blanks to fill in.
How can I help you, Mrs. Paisley?
I'll take a pound of sausages and a leg of lamb. Thank you, Kelly.
Why was he even here?
I know.
Perhaps he should have stayed in France.
Hello, Grace, Victoria.
Jean, didn't we see you last night at Cafe Voltaire?
Yes, I'm sure you did.
Appalling situation, wasn't it? Well, your doctor must have some insight to what happened.
Well, even if he did, I don't see why you'd assume that he'd share it with me.
Well, you and he aren't you?
Tilly, are you all right? I hope you don't mind me saying, but you look terrible. Have you been ill?
I'm getting over it.
Why don't you pop in and let Dr. Blake take a look at you?
I can't. I'm here by myself.
Oh, later on.
Maybe. If I don't feel better.
Yes, do. Grace, Victoria?
Ladies, how can I help you?
Got a minute?
Not at the moment, Rose.
This death in the freezer?
Is an active case.
I'm an active journalist.
Oh, you're like a dog with a bone, just like your mother. We are currently investigating. There's no known causes yet. How's that?
Uncle Matthew.
Superintendent.
Superintendent. Word is that he was beaten by a police officer.
You're supposed to report the facts, not rumours.
Edward wants something on this, and it is better if it comes from you.
What have you heard?
That a policeman was seen leaving the house the night that Philippe Noah died. Is there any connection?
Who told you that?
You know better than to ask.
Did this source identify the officer?
I'm guessing it was Bill Hobart.
Rose, please. Keep your powder dry for me. Until we establish cause of
I can
death,
hold off
I'm
for
not...
24 hours, but not much more than that. By the way, Mum says I'm just like you.
God help you then.
Do you have anything to go on?
I literally sat here and watched the bruising develop as the body thawed.
Yes. And the swelling, eh? Almost certainly the fatal blow. And Alice, look here. This unusual hematoma developing.
A knuckle?
Maybe. Though I'm not sure a knuckle would make that sort of mark. Right. Let's have a good look at that liver, shall we? Pale colour, isn't it? Alcohol damage?
His bloods didn't indicate alcohol.
All right. We'll need a biopsy then.
I'll get started.
The hematoma only appeared once the body had thawed out, which means we have 3 distinct injuries at 3 different times.
So someone attacked him after the raid, but before he was killed?
That seems unlikely. That 3 people all attacked the same bloke.
Henry said it himself. Philippe created a lot of hostility around the town.
Well, if that's the case, you had a hell of a night.
There is still the issue of the button from the freezer.
It's knock-off time, Charlie. Go home, eh?
Charlie, would you mind telling Jean I'll be a little late?
Yeah, righto.
Thank you. You look tired.
Yeah, I'm fine.
How's the hotel? You managing those bloody stairs?
I'm not a total invalid. Sorry, Lycian. Tough day.
Of course. Matthew, there is something else. I'm waiting on results from a liver biopsy, but I'm fairly certain Philippe was suffering from hepatitis.
Hepatitis?
Yeah, I know. We'll need to shut that restaurant down until we know what we're dealing with.
Oh, that's all we need, a major health scare.
Senior Sergeant Hobart.
I got nothing to say to you.
You don't want to comment on what people are saying?
I don't give a stuff what people are saying. I did my job, end of story.
Really? Is it your job to rough up innocent members of the public?
Unlike your boyfriend, some of us have to get our hands dirty.
Henry, I hope you don't mind. The door was open. May I join you?
Why not? Misery loves company.
Yes, why not? Thank you.
The first time I met Philippe, this song was playing. He hates this kind of music. Not modern enough for him, but, it was my birthday.
Thank you.
I know what you must think. Why would a young man like him work for someone like me?
Oh, Henry. A town like this can offer a fresh start. Henry, Philippe had a new tattoo. A promise to Fontaine. Do you have any idea what that means?
No idea. I didn't know.
Was he much of a drinker? I only ask because I understand there was an issue at the restaurant with missing alcohol.
He had cleaned himself up by the time I met him in Paris, but he always struggled with it. Nowadays, he was almost evangelical about not drinking, but he spent more and more time at the restaurant, and stock started going missing. Sometimes he wouldn't come home. We fought about it.
I see. Henry, Philippe may have been quite unwell. Did you ever notice any signs? Sallow skin, tiredness?
Yes. Why?
I'm almost certain he was suffering from hepatitis. Now, until we know exactly what we're dealing with, I'm afraid we're going to have to close down the restaurant till further notice.
Well, they got what they wanted then.
Who?
People have been trying to close us down since we opened. Phone calls and horrible letters, things scrawled on the walls. Some death threats.
Death threat? For the love of God, Henry, why on earth didn't you tell the police? Of course. Do you still have any of those letters?
Oh, I can't imagine what Henry's gone through. At school, he was always so particular. He was bullied terribly by the other boys, but he never complained. I think he always knew what they were saying about him, though.
He wouldn't have been in your class, though, surely.
No, his brother was, but he lived down the road. He was always so kind to me when I was probably a pain. He used to tell me stories about how he was going to be a painter or a writer, and how he was going to go and live in London or Paris or anywhere but here.
Makes you wonder why he came back.
Oh, I suppose it's home. Sometimes you need the place you belong to.
Even a place that hurts you.
It's the whispers that hurt the most. And I suppose he hears those everywhere.
Jean, you know, the divorce will be sorted soon enough, and then, wow, then they can all go to blazes.
By the way, is that my lamb roast? 'Cause it just feels like every time I put a roast in the fridge, somehow or other.
Yes. I am sorry. And all of this, this is all from Cafe Voltaire. I'm trying to determine what could have caused the skull fracture pattern. You know, the angle, the type of blow. Something delivering plenty of force, but that's quite compact.
Right. But
But what?
wouldn't the bone need to be closer to the surface to replicate a skull? Like, oh no, not that one. This one's already chipped. So...
Bloody hell.
Sorry. If we...
Don't cut your fingers.
Put that in there. Now give that a whack.
It's very clever.
Ah. It's a process of elimination. Well, don't stay up too late.
How are you going with those letters?
Yeah, it's slow going. Constable Ned Simmons. All right, we'll be right there. Report of vandalism at Henry Dent's restaurant.
Hey, hold your horses. You can't go down there by yourself.
Should I call Bill?
We both know he can't go out there. Doesn't help to cover for him, son.
I'm not.
You finish that, I'll head down to the restaurant.
But you're...
Just get on to Charlie and tell him to meet me there.
Mitchell. Go around the back.
Bagger it. Please, stop!
Charlie, coming your way!
Please, please, please. Mr. Dent. Let's go. For the insurance.
What else? Philippe is dead. The restaurant is dead. I have nothing left.
Henry, we have evidence to suggest that someone followed Philippe when he left the house the night he died.
It wasn't me. I spent an hour trying to fix the front door as best I could. And then I went to bed.
What time was that?
10:30. I told you all of this. Why are we even bothering with this? We all know who killed Philippe, and you're not going to do anything about it. You're just going to sweep it under the rug. Sweep, sweep,
Henry.
sweep, sweep,
Henry.
sweep, sweep.
That's quite enough, thank you.
Maybe your sergeant saw something when he came back to the house. Are you even going to ask him about it? No, of course not.
So a senior Sergeant Hobart came back to your house.
Why didn't you tell us this before, Henry?
Because I was scared.
So why are you telling us now?
Because I don't care what happens to me anymore.
No luck with the lamb. I do have this little shard. It's organic. Some kind of shell, I'm guessing. But I don't think it belongs to anything that swims in our waters.
Lucien, you didn't hear the phone ringing?
Hmm?
Charlie needs you to go down to the station.
He's in a bad way, I think.
Right. Leave it with me. And Charlie, thank you for calling. 2 now, 2 in the morning. You want me to have a look at that leg of yours?
Might want to have a look at Henry Dent. He's not in the best frame of mind. He's cooling off in the cells.
Right you are.
Thank you, Lucien.
Thank you, Charlie. Henry, Chief Superintendent Lawson asked me to come and check on you. He's worried about you.
If he thinks I'm going to do something, he's got nothing to worry about. I'm a coward, remember?
You sure about this, Doc?
Yes, we'll be fine, Charlie. Henry, you've suffered a tremendous loss. Not to mention the absolute shock of it all. Now, I can give you something to help you sleep.
I don't deserve to sleep. I told him to get out. That night. He found a button one of the policemen dropped. Said he was going to bring it in as proof. Make a complaint. I told him no one was going to listen. It would only make things worse. We argued. And I was so angry. I told him to get out. I thought he'd come back again.
That's not what happened.
Oh, for God's sake, Bill, how many times have you seen people go down for being caught out in a lie?
I didn't lie.
Why'd you go back?
Yeah, there was a bit of a scuffle. I thought I might have gone a bit hard, you know. I just wanted to check. I knocked and there was no answer, so I left. That's it.
Right, well, Henry said that Philippe had your button in his pocket when he left the house. He was going to bring it to us in the morning and lay a complaint.
So I'm in the clear.
Bill, he didn't live to make the complaint. It speaks to motive.
So why don't you just say what you're bloody well thinking then?
He's just telling you how it looks. We don't have a weapon. We don't have another strong suspect. I've got the press breathing down our necks, and right now the only thing that's going for you is us. Now get back to work.
Glad I got you, Sergeant.
It's all right. I've got this. Leave it, Rose, all right? Let it go. please.
I have to follow the leads I have.
Rose, a word now.
Are you all right? What's happened?
I thought I told you. When I had something to give you, you'll get it.
I have 2 hours until the afternoon edition goes to print.
We don't work to the courier's timetable. When I have information to give you, you'll have it. All right?
Thank you.
Boss?
What?
There's been a report of a suspected body in the lake.
Sergeant.
About something!
We found the bag, Henry. In the lake. Why did you throw Philippe's belongings away? Lying to the police, Mr. Dent. You do understand how guilty that makes you look.
I thought this time he had gone for good.
Why did you think that?
Why would I kill him and leave his body in my restaurant? Tell me that. Why would I get rid of his things and not him?
People do strange things in the heat of the moment.
I didn't kill him. I loved him. And you can stand there and pass judgment all you want, but it won't make what you're saying any more true.
You didn't get much sleep?
No, not really. Thank you.
I was just wondering if...
Wondering what? What is it?
I was wondering if this case was a little too close.
Oh, I think I'm just feeling a little, I don't know, melancholic, that's all.
I'm not sure why you bothered to freeze this. It's not as though we're going to eat it now. Oh, Lucian!
Bloody hell.
So a leg of lamb killed Philippe Noah?
Fits the trajectory? Would be on hand in the freezer?
So you're saying our murder weapon was eaten?
Well, I know I was going to have the lamb. Anyhow, all we have left to go on is this. A shell of some kind.
Shellfish from the restaurant, maybe?
Well, nothing I can match it to yet.
Ah, Doctor, the biopsy report. It confirms Philippe Noah had hepatitis.
Ah, yes. According to this, the liver damage is not alcohol-related.
No, there was piecemeal necrosis in the cells. It was possibly from the homemade tattoo.
Yes, perhaps. We need to put a statement out. Everybody, and I mean everybody who's visited that restaurant, needs to be checked by a doctor.
Are you all right?
Fine, thank you.
I'm sorry Dr. Blake isn't here, but he won't be long.
That's okay. Feeling a little better.
Well, I'm glad you decided to come. How often have you been vomiting?
Not as much now.
Tilly, when I was pregnant with my first son, I had morning sickness for 6 out of the 9 months.
I'm not pregnant.
Oh, of course, no. I just thought you might want someone to talk. I'll be right back. Dr. Blake's surgery? Yes, of course. Does 3:30 suit you?
Lucien, have you seen the castor oil?
No, sorry, I haven't.
You all right?
Yes, Oh, Philippe was suffering from hepatitis.
Oh, no, that's really contagious, isn't it?
Alarmingly, yes. I expect we'll have a lot of patients coming in over the next few days.
Young Tilly was here to see you earlier. She's really unwell. I think she's pregnant.
Oh, goodness me, she's so young.
Yes, 17 and alone, I think. And I'm assuming her father doesn't know. Where is it?
Promise de Fontaine. A young mother abandoned by fate. He promises he won't abandon her. Jenny, did you say you're looking for castor oil?
Yes, I can't find it anywhere.
Bloody hell.
Tilly? Tilly?
Oh, Lucien.
Oh, is she breathing? Tilly, can you hear me?
Jean, call an ambulance. Yes. Her liver's damaged from the hepatitis. And taking castor oil on top of that to try and bring on a miscarriage, she's lucky to be alive.
I imagine she was terrified of her father finding out.
What if he already did?
Philippe?
I need to call Charlie. Would you
Yes,
stay
of course.
with Tilly?
Go.
Doctor, would you help? I need to get Mrs. Wilson back to her room.
Of course, Mrs. Wilson, how are you? May I escort you back to your room?
Today's Monday, isn't it, Doctor?
Well, I'm afraid today's Wednesday, but I tell you what, Wednesday's a terrific day. As I recall, it's Strawberry Jelly Day. Yes, my favourite.
The bartender at the lock-in said you left at around 9 p.m, not 10:30. That puts you right near the restaurant around the time Philippe Noah was heading there.
So I got the time a little wrong. Doesn't make me a murderer. I want a bloody lawyer.
Mr. Robinson, that's quite a ring you have there, mate. May I see it?
Why? I'm not taking it off.
That's quite all right. You don't have to. Please. Thank you. You find homosexuality disgusting, don't you, Mr. Robinson?
It's against the law, is what it is.
You recognise this?
It's a ledger from my shop.
Yes, it is. And this is a threat sent to Henry Dent and Philippe Noah. It's the same handwriting, Mr. Robinson.
I just wanted to get him to move on. That's all. We don't need that type around here.
Except you knew Philippe Noah wasn't a homosexual, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You found out he was seeing your daughter.
Tilly? Not bloody likely.
It'd be enough to make any father furious, especially given it was the man who fired you.
This is ridiculous.
Take him to the cells, Davis, and write him up.
No, look. I gave him a hammering. You lot did nothing when you went there. He sorted out right as rain and I saw red. But I didn't kill him. Listen, I swear on my daughter's life, I didn't know.
Sit down, Mr. Robinson.
Stop, just
Listen to
me.
Sit down! You're making it worse for yourself.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know.
How am I going to look after a baby by myself?
Tilly, don't think about that now. You need to rest.
I don't want it. Not without Philippe. We were going to have a different life together, far away from here. He promised me.
Tilly, you should try to relax. You need to start to think about you and getting better.
What are people going to say about me?
You shouldn't care about what other people think.
Everybody cares. They just pretend they don't.
Tilly, you have people around you who love you. And your father will help you through this.
Did he kill Philippe?
Well, they still don't know what happened.
I begged Philippe not to fire him. I could have saved him, you know?
What do you mean?
I was looking for my father. He hadn't come home. And I saw the light on in the restaurant.
What time was that?
Not sure. It must have been after 9:30 because Bandstand had finished. I like to watch it through the window at the electrical store.
Tilly, did you tell the police?
No.
Why not?
Because Dad asked me to say I was at home with him. And I didn't see Philippe anyway. There was no one there inside. So it just went home. But he must have been there, Mrs. Beasley. I heard the police say he'd been there all night.
It's all right, Tilly. It's going to be all right.
Of course I knew. Philippe always had a penchant for beautiful girls.
Why didn't you ever set the record straight about the nature of your friendship with Philippe?
Because it's nobody's business. Do you know how much my life has been dictated by gossip, Sergeant? That's why I left here, to escape it. It was only after I met Philippe that I had the courage to stop running.
But you knew Philippe wasn't attracted to you.
It didn't matter. I loved him. Everyone deserves a new start, and that's what I gave him.
Henry, you must have known people would, well, make assumptions.
Having assumptions made about someone loving you is much better than them assuming that no one ever could.
You felt it was no one's business?
Jean, what brings you here?
I found something out that might be helpful. I was just talking with Tilly in the hospital. She was at the restaurant the night Philippe was killed.
What was she doing there?
She was looking for her father. She saw a light on, but no one was there.
Jean, what time was this?
It was something like 10:15 or 10 o'clock. She saw a car. I know that's not very helpful.
What sort of car? What colour?
It was dark in colour. That's all she can remember.
Ned, I'm sorry, may I, thank you? Tortoiseshell. Charlie, the alibis from the night Philippe was murdered, do you have a...
No, about them.
May I see? Thank you. Barbara,
Doctor.
restaurant's closed, isn't it?
Yes,
Ah, vodka. Drink of choice? Mine's scotch. Single malt.
Yes, that was my husband's drink, rest his soul.
Ah, yes, your late husband. Goodness me, losing him must have been so very difficult for you.
He was all I had.
Oh! Oh, goodness me.
Oh!
The old shakes. Yes. I noticed them when I was tending to your burn. Of course, it was so very shocking seeing Philippe like that. But it wasn't shock that made your hand shake. It was the need for a drink.
I don't know what you're talking about. Philippe was the alcoholic, not me.
Philippe didn't drink anymore, Barbara. If he had, he would have been very sick indeed. But he recognized a fellow traveller, a kindred spirit, as it were. He caught you stealing, didn't he? When he turned up late that night unexpectedly. What happened? Did he threaten to tell Henry? You'd have lost your job.
Henry's my friend.
A friend you stole from. You allowed the man he loved to take the blame for your behaviour.
That's not true.
Now, I'm sure you pleaded with Philippe not to say anything. But when he refused, you became angry, so very angry. And you grabbed whatever was closest to hand and you...
I told you I wasn't here. I was with my neighbour at the hospital. You can ask her.
We did. But I'm afraid Mrs. Wilson, God bless her, is a most unreliable alibi, given her dementia, which is, of course, why you chose her.
Why would I leave him here if I killed him? I'd be a fool.
Because someone interrupted you. Young Tilly Robinson. You panicked
You shut the freezer door and drove away.
No.
Later, when you returned, you found Philippe frozen in place. You tried to move him, and I suspect that's when you hit your head on the shelf, leaving a small piece of your hair clip embedded in the eyes.
My job is all I have. I don't have any children, no family. Not all of us have the chance to start again. I had no choice.
You need to come with me, Mrs. Cornish. Robinson's gone to the hospital to see his girl. Can I buy you a beer later?
I'm busy.
Look, Bill, I'm sorry. Can you see it from my side, though? What did you want me to do?
We look after our own. That's what I did for you when your brother was in trouble.
I didn't ask you to do that, mate.
Got work to do.
Ah, I suppose I should thank you for waiting to print this.
Thank you for the quote. Here, let me give you a hand.
I'm fine.
Come on.
I said I'm all right.
Really? That's why you moved the interview room from upstairs, is it?
Oh, look, if I was a bloody horse, one of you lot would have shot me by now.
Maybe we should have.
There is such a thing as respecting your elders.
Such a thing as caring for them, too. We're here to help you.
I don't need help.
Of course not. God forbid anyone feels sorry for you. So when you break your neck falling headfirst down a flight of stairs or fall over trying to chase down a suspect, we can be happy knowing that at least you kept your dignity.
You finished?
Uncle Matthew, please. There is a difference between expecting pity and asking for help.
Oh, go on, take it if it means that much to you.
My boss.
Ali,
What on earth is in this?
you wanted to help.
Ah. It's a gift from Henry.
Oh, isn't that lovely? Do you know what? All things considered, I think I might prefer a nice cup of tea if you don't mind.
I'd prefer that too.
Oh, good. Nice to see you wearing it again.
Well, life's too short to let other people tell me how to live. If they don't like it, they can...
Yes, they can. They most certainly can. Jean, I need to talk to you about something. Well, it's about Matthew.
Yes, I've been worried about him too. In fact, I'll get it.
Ah, Henry. Who is it, Jean?
Listen,
I've already aired out the back room. There's fresh towels laid out and there's plenty of rabbit stew.
Welcome home, Matthew.
Doc.
Is this a trick?
No, it's whiskey.
This is your reputation.
And what about yours?
Is there something else that you wanted to talk about, Lucien?
With respect, Father, I doubt there'd be any point.
The God I believe in, he would never turn away someone who needed him.